Everyone to this interview series. I'm super grateful and thankful to have just finished church at Grace Covenant. If you're in the Austin area, you should come check it out. It's really awesome. Um, but with that in mind, I'm grateful to have another interviewer. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Russell Feller. I'm a student at A&M, and just some other things about me. I'm obviously a Christian. I like to love Jesus, and I'm in the core at A&M. So that's a big part of my life this past year, and just how I do things.
Super awesome. Yeah, your core perspective today and kind of your background as like a Christian, more importantly, super invaluable on this project. But kind of this week we've been exploring themes in gratefulness, mindfulness, mental health, and education. So with that in mind, the first question is, what are some things that you are thankful for or mindful of in your educational upbringing and background?
A couple things I can think of. I went to Regents, which is a Christian school in South Austin, and I'm super thankful for that. I know at the time it may not have seemed like the best option, but now looking back on it from a different perspective, I'm super thankful for just having been able to go there. One of the things that I really enjoyed and just super grateful to have was just the teachers. Going to A&M with the class size of like 50 to 300 people in a class, it was super nice having my biggest class in high school being like 20 students. But just being able to have a close relationship with teachers and getting perspectives from them on how to live and just how to do things, and just having a relationship with them instead of like now in college, I barely talk to any of my professors, but I know I can reach out to any of my high school teachers right now and they'd be super willing to just talk with me and just invest more time into me.
Cool. Yeah, your insight on that, especially going to a large publicly state-funded massive school, right, like A&M. I'm an A&M graduate too myself, Giggle Maggies, but like you very much get lost in the crowd at A&M. I think some people are convinced that they're just numbers kind of in this large, massive enrollment sheet. I mean, there's tons. I think the number is 70,000 plus or something among all the campuses. Absolutely kind of crazy. But yeah, I think I also came from a smaller private school background. So like, having that close-knit relationship with your teachers is just so huge, like the community aspect amidst like teaching and learning well. So with that in mind, thank you for that perspective. And the second question is, how do you practice like mindfulness, mental health in an increasingly challenging educational kind of landscape, and also like kind of in your own kind of anecdotal way, like in the core, obviously an extreme amount of stress added onto your daily life, and also maybe with your faith conjoined with that.
Yeah, so I kind of start off when we talked about how A&M is such a big school. It's super easy to get lost in the crowd and just feel so isolated and alone. I think one of the big things to avoid that is getting plugged in with, whether it's a small group or just a Bible study at your church or something like that.
Yeah.
But a smaller group of people where you can have those deeper relationships is super important. And that's one of the things that I was struggling with my first semester.
Yeah.
Just not having super close friends or not being able to have deep relationships, going from having super strong relationships here in Austin in high school to not having those and not having the same people was definitely a challenge. So emphasizing community is definitely a big thing. And then in the core, it's definitely super easy to get lost and not really know who you are and not know why you're doing things. One of the biggest things is they tell you to have a reason why you're in the core, why you're wanting to put yourself through these things, why you want to live this way. So it is, if you don't have that reason why, it's super hard to continue down what you're doing, especially when it's something that's more difficult in life.
Mm-hmm.
But I found my reason why in God and for doing everything for His glory. From my perspective, it's super hard to see why people would do all this and how they're doing it without knowing that there is an eternal reason.
Right.
One of the seniors that was in my unit in the core came in my room one time. He was just talking to me about how God put me in this specific hallway for our outfit and this specific room for a reason to minister to people.
Yeah.
And that was just super encouraging, just dealing with like, oh, why am I here?
Yeah.
why am I going through all these struggles? It doesn't seem like there's a point to everything.
Sure.
But just knowing that there is a reason for everything, that everything happens for a reason, just helps you get through things. I know, like with mental health especially, it's super hard to get bogged down by the things of this world and not know the explanation for things or the reasoning behind things. But having faith, just being able to see that there is something larger than you that you can understand. It's really important to know that you may not be able to know everything that's going on or be able to explain everything that's going on, but just being able to have that eternal perspective that God has and that we don't have, knowing that He's the one in charge and that we just need to trust in Him and all that He does.
For sure. Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for your perspectives today. On that note, I will say also we're having Bible studies Monday night. Reaffirms me of a verse that we were kind of in, Proverbs 3:5, trust in the Lord with your whole heart and lean not on your own understanding, right? The more we try to understand things of this world, the more we will fail.
Right.
Kind of just recognizing and having faith and trust in God's plan for our lives, like in something like the core that's incredibly challenging on top of your engineering, right?
Not anymore.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can only imagine that. But anyway, thank you for your perspectives today, and yeah, let's have a good week.
Yeah,
appreciate it. Sweet.